Almanac. Amexem.
Peace and greetings. This will be another addition to the Moorish mission. I found this clip while I was doing the live Who's Who. This is 1925. People look with more than curiosity at the picturesque figure of the dethroned majesty Mulai Hafid of Morocco, the Sultan of 1,001 Nights, as he walks with stately gait through the streets of Paris. He was a thorn in the side of the French for years, and they're speaking about the colonization of the Moorish Empire. And one of the worst massacres of the epic was perpetrated at Fez under his rule in 1912. And then there come Noble Drew Ali, 1913. And this man is at least related to Noble Drew Ali. This man looked just like Noble Drew Ali. Had his leg crossed at the Moorish mission and all that. What's going on, Moors, with this? Mulai is suspected of having been in German pay. We know Noble Drew Ali was speaking of the Zeppelins at that time, and there was only Zeppelins being distributed through Germany. So we knew he had communications with Germany. When the French dethroned him after the Fez affair, he was exiled to Tangier, but for many years he had been living in Spain, finally making up his mind to eat humble pie and finally and definitely recognize French rule in his country. But recognizing it through colonization ain't the same. You're doing it by force, man. And obtain permission to come and settle in France. Mulai Hafid is a man of curious contrast, a direct descendant of the Prophet. And he looks like Noble Drew Ali, which lets you know Noble Drew Ali is descendants of the prophets. But we're not just speaking about no Mohammed. We're talking about the bloodline that come through Fatima, which is the mother, and the uncle was an Ali, a direct descendant of the prophet. He is in many respects highly cultivated and attentive to modern thought and progress. With the soul of a warrior and the brain of a statesman, he is perhaps the last Moorish chief of the type of his ancestry. Not true. Noble Drew Ali was right there in 1913. Unless this is Noble Drew Ali, man, ain't no telling, brother. But I know on the Moorish mission 1901 and 1910, they say that was Mulai Hafid. And Noble Drew Ali would have been, I don't know, brother, 1901. He would look a little younger. There is in Mulai Hafid's character some of the freakishness presented in such greater degree by his crazy brother, Sultan Abdul Aziz. And this Aziz right here is this Aziz Said, which this is 1925. We're speaking about the conflict between brothers always. One of them want to be on the throne, but the other one's posed to be on the throne, so they take the payment. Who he dethroned in peculiar circumstances. But was it true and correct that he was dethroned? Because Noble Drew Ali said now head of Mecca was Abdul Aziz. Mulai was fighting the tribes of the Atlas, and they was the ones that was ran up in the mountains though. Word came to him that Fez was sick of Abdul's mad performances and wanted nothing better than to overthrow him. So Mulai marched on the capital, which his brother had hastily thrown into a state of defense. Abdul's troops, consisting mostly of desert brigades and thieves released from prison, which was all the pale-skinned Arabs, specifically for the occasion. Mulai laughed in his beard when he learned of the quality of his brother's forces, because he had the backing of the Foreign Legion and all that, brother, all the colonizers, man. Halting a few miles from the walls at Fez, he sent against the army at daybreak, not his army, but a long column of donkeys led by black slaves, quote unquote, blowing trumpets. I mean, they can downgrade it, but it was the Canaanites, you know, the walls of Jericho, brother. That's what they was doing, the Canaanites. It was the Moors. On the donkeys' backs were baskets of silver, duros that gleamed in the sunlight and fired the hearts of the motley crowd of defenders with envy and covetousness. Unable to resist the temptations, Abdul's ragged mob rushed out to seize easy booty, man, because they out of control, brother. They knew all the people that was fighting for Abdel was oppressed and everything. So if they got stuff they wanted, they wouldn't worry about fighting or defending Abdel. That same thing Noble Drew Ali was talking about. He needed finance to shove aside the discord, because it even get the dirty Moors out of the way. If they had something, you know, everybody's starving, but that don't give you a reason to do the negativity and help with the colonized. Indeed. But Noble Draw, this is a good tactic right here. Set aside the stuff. They knew these people was starving anyway, so it got them up out the way, and they wasn't worried about what Abdel was needing. They was worried about what they was needing. They were still fighting among themselves as Mulai's army searched into the city without firing a shot. So that's how you take out and topple this wheel. The last crazy whim of the Sultan was gratified at Tangier. For the first time, a dentist articulated chair. He immediately ordered one to be made for him in gold, and in the purest gold, Louis Philippe style. He used it as a throne. And what Noble Draw Ali said, he got a toothache. This man used a dentist chair, golden dentist chair, as a throne. Toothache. So indeed, during the live, I found the article, so I wanted to go over and do the read through. Peace and love, brothers. I leave you in peace and love. Divine honors to Prophet Noble Draw Ali and the Moorish divine and national movement of the world.
Ali's apparatus. They looking up at us. Altitude 7,000 and rising. Ali took me up on the incline with an apparatus. They looking up at us in their blackness, wishing they could smack us, cause we demonstrate nationality and practice. Activeness, they package this. Sell it with shackles on ass and wrists. You better cross-reference, you facts it is, because I swim through Akashic records like fish. Study thyself to the bottom of abyss. Unity, press, 2 hands, 1 fist. 7 on the door as the morning rays miss. Remind humanity how dearly she's missed. All is ebb and flow, all is mine. Made by Allah's design. Time never was when man was not. That's why we throw the watch away, leave carnal flesh behind. Altitude 90,000 and rising. We gotta stop by Hawaii Island. Canaan land and Mora land. Gotta get Boaz, Yusuf, Cujo, Kasir. Just broke through 7 layer. Headed for Venus boomerang off a Big Dipper, then with they Ali said we do our Moorish prayer. More over there turning up the fader. Looking like a Moorish Vader. Can't believe we got 10 subs in here. Running off a beta. Watch out for the crater. 7 clear stones shooting beams out the bottom like a laser. 7 degrees my blood freeze. Reaching out with the keys to the holy prophet. Landing gear locked it near the blue ethers. We docked it. Ask the prophet if I need a mask. He looked at me and laughed. The only reason Cujo boarded cause you wore your pheasant sash.